Sabonani sesipile njalo futhi lesinye isiqephu esimnandi kakhulu isiqephu ozothi la nqobuke ukuthi kanjani ufike nini Malume namhlanje ngiqale ngizintroduce ngizethula ukuthi mina lami ngizwa ngoJoyful ngobe ngiphuma phansi lesigodini njengenjwala ngihambe ngiyedwa
emsimo Shaba isikhulu sesijwali lesi endleni Isithembu inkani njengoba njila abantu Joyful namhlanje ngathi kutshintsha ukwenza asike South Africa namhlanje
yebo
siphaphile
size Canada
sabe eCanada
cheka ngemuva kule snow
kule snow khona basters kwenza into eziningi phandle lapha tesiqhoma jacket zagodolo zahamba namhlanje but your favorite uncle uMpawulo ukuthi umnikazi wempuku
yebo Uncle Bay fresh Malume
ake ngibonge bafowethu ngiyabonga kakhulu ukuthi hey uthando olungaka ngendlela engiqamba ngakhona madoda lami ngizizwa ingani ngiqakambile ngizizwa ngani ngumuntu oqhakathekileyo hayi into enhle kakhulu bafowethu ikanti ke abangangaziyo ake ngizitsho phela mhlawumbe lama abantu abangazi yebo mhlawumbe abangazi bathi umalume kathi bathi umalume vele ngubani umalume uvele ngubani ake ngizitsho ke mina yebo uyabona ke mina ngizalwa koSibanda ngumzukulu kwaBasibanda uVodlozi uDawuduni umhlatho ongahlula Thamu umaqhuba qho laba bathi bahamba bebheke phansi bekathi banamahloni kathi bathontisweke yebo
so mama nje betha unkululo
abaqo ngibe senisuka lapha ngithi ngikhuluma ngakomalume bese nisiza ngapha koba aha ngugwayi nguchaba umagezi bakhathi bemene bakhathi bona buyaboka asikhombisi thina kathi zokhombisa kanjani yebo ngabo igwayi ke le igwayi le igwayi bakhathi bemene bakhathi bona buyaboka osayi omasivi yithi ke lapho hayi
bangathi kafana labo moyo
hayi moya kabili kule dewa kule gwayi aha mina ngikhuluma ngegwayi igwayi inye ungamuza umuntu esithi ngwakogwayi sihlobene idewa inikanenge angiyazi ngiyikhulumele angiyazi ikopela idewa ikhona la sesishoneni ikhona la sesindebeleni angeke ngiyikhulumele ngikhuluma ngeke ngikwaziyo igwayi C1
igwayi ibe yini ngamanguni ngamalozwi ngamakhalanga
good question
limhlobo
lalela lapho ngakulahla mina ngakulahla ngafuna ukusengeza imithiyo kodwa mangithi ngiyayilonda kahle mangithi ngadinga ukufitshana ungathi singabe lozwi uyingathi hamba ngaleyo ndlela indawo yakhona kodwa hayi ngakulahla yabe sifuna ukuthi ngabe kuthiwa ngabe utata usaphila ngike ngimthayela ucingo ngimbuze yebo hayi mina
wathi inyana ngoba uthi uyaziteketisa laphana
konke le isilozi nje yebo
kulesilozi thize
yebo
ayisina abangamzilikazi
hayi thina siyo manguni hayi thina singabanikazi bomhlaba hayi kodwa amabele kudelela bathi singamaholi kodwa
ubuza khona ukuthi ukumenshena iGwanda kakhulu iGwanda uyindawo ozalelwa kuyikhulela kuyo
yes alright kuthi ukuthi kahle ngazalelwe eManama General Hospital ilapho engazalelwa khona udala
wadosenza umdala kakhulu
udala
yebo ubuza abantu onobani londa yena ke namhlanje exclusively on podcast abantu
yebo
usizo ukudala uba le ndaba ezimnandi kakhulu so sifunde sithi fahla ngekudala ebuyelayo
sizofika la isikole
kuthi ukuthi ngomnyaka nengaza khathi bafowethu kade libona izimhlophe indevu kade tingeza khathi lithi hayi kade lika yifuzo hayi bafowethu hloniphana abantu abadala kade linjani lalela kuthi ukuthi ngazalwa ngazalelwe eManama in the 70s I can say in the mid 70s
sengenzile amakhalkulation
somewhere there ngazalelwe eManama General Hospital and I grew up Petsha nje kwaThuli endaweni okuthiwa kuselong line. Yebo kodwa thina abantu bakithi khona phana ma umuntu uvele londa kahle dingisisa kahle ukuthi kathi uvela umalume ngwakobani kuthi uthi mina mphuma emzini omkhulu wakomjaji komjaji kuko madongo umjaji ngumadongo engusibanda uyibo labo ikho lapho emphuma khona mina was one of the oldest bazukulu who lived emzini kamjaji for the longest time abanye bonke sebehambile emadrobheni ngangihawukela mina abanye abafana abazama mama ebuyile bevele edrobheni besize ekhaya mbabone mina sithi masiyabhukutsha ngicine ngehlekile ukubhukutsha ngoba ngela underwear kwakunzima ke lapho kodwa yilapho engakhulela khona. I'm very proud of my upbringing. So ngakhulela eGwanda.
So you had this rural upbringing. Uthi umuntu akubona namhlanje ethi cheese boy.
Uyabona ke uyabelahleke kakhulu. Yeah, because mina I have a very strong rural background. Very strong background. Mina ngakhula ngiselusa, ngakhula ngisenga, ngakhula ngikleza. Yonke into lengiyazi. Hawu kuhle nje. Kuhle nje. Kuhle nje. Thina sakhula siselusa. Ngakhula ngiselusa mina ngangikwazi ukuthi ngambhekile mbone phansi ukuthi uBlomo udlulela. Ngabone ebudlule siyele ngihle ngitshela abafowethu ukuthi no siyale. Yena makade ehambe siyale. Siyazi ukuthi uyayibona ke indawo. So that is the upbringing I grew up konke nje lokufunda ngafunda khona. But however I left Gwanda when I was doing grade 5. So but at the age of grade 5 sengikhulile. Well in those days ngoba ngase ngikwazi ukuthi ngilime. Ngase ngikwazi ukuthi ngibopha amadonki. Sasilima ngamadonki thina phela. Yes, silima. EGwanda sasilima ngamadonki. Athi inkani amadonki.
Indima zenkabi lezamadonki. Yeah. That child 3 wona usaqithele eqala.
Lalela. Ngibopha amadonki ngilogogo sibabili. Ithi ma uyibophile idonki lilima idecide lamhlanje yona lenkani uyasiyachaya ukhwela perfect follow uzanga ukuthi uyachaya perfect nisayikhumbula ile siphaqe simhlophe nke perfect follow ngenye mina uperfect wazilalela emfolweni
hayi donki yazi ngikhuluma yazi ngicabanga ngenye imini thina sathi masiyagayisa ukhoneni ibhekisa sibiza ngoxhego
yebo
so ugogo wayekwazi ukuthi ngasinika uxhego
yebo
ayiso sigijime sinqola
yebo
because uxhego wayesenze ezimbili it's either kona phana uzathi wona umile yena decide last and break mina sengisile
exactly
idonki kubehlale uzukile lapha ephela isikhumba sonke or else adecide isihlahla lesihle man ina ukubhoda ngapha kwaso
yebo
it does buyerise emoyeni so izenzathi
perfect uperfect walenkani enzima. So I'm going to give you two contrasts of my life. So uperfect wayenjalo ngapha kogogo alale phansi uperfect ugogo azacina ethi azikhulule mntanami ugogo impela vele anti welisuthu uma ngikhuluma ngesuthu angikhulumi ngamasuthu endeli waziyo ngikhuluma ngamasuthu ayikhuluma isisuthu lesanti anabuyale mwana wadudu ubile utsamayi uyabona yebo yes that's the suthu sasikhuluma thina ugogo wayengokononko noko umanka.
So are you able to speak isuthu?
You see lalela isingisi sithi if you don't use it you lose it.
Yeah, true.
So I have lost it over time.
Yes.
But I can still understand. Angeke likhulume ngami ngesuthu ngiyazwisisa. So this is the contrast of my life ngikhula eGwanda versus now my life ngifika futhi ngikhula ngapha kobaba.
Now is this after that grade 5 that you're talking about?
Now this is grade 5 I completely live this life eGwanda. Now I live the urban life and I live the urban life and rural on my father's side. I live my mother's side's life in urban to come to my urban and my father's life. Uyayibona indaba yakhona. So ngile engakuthi ngenye balance of rural upbringing emangalisayo. Yeah, emangalisayo. Imangalisayo. Lalela
indawo ezimbili.
Zimbili. Ngapha ngotata kokhulu. Ukhulu kwakulinywa ngenkomo. Kwakulinywa ngenkani. Ukhulu kuthi ukuthi yena ngabe silobele. Kodwa ukhulu wabesuka wathutha from esilobele. Bafika eGogwe. Bahlala eGogwe. Yikho lapho lo muzi kaTata lapha neGogwe. Amasingo makhulu. makhulu
Asomasimo ngawaqonda.
Simasimo ngapho ngiwaqonda.
Ucina ukona.
That man
Njengoba lesimo kabani.
Yabe lamabizo.
Yeah.
nansi into yamangazayo ngifike gogo amasimu kawabiyo akalathando hayi kusegcekeni insimu nje akulathango
Yini izifuyo
ziyalindwa kumele abantu bayolinda izifuyo zabo akula sifuyo singena ensimini yomuntu ziye kudla amabele
so usho ukuthi i24/7 musileyo because ukuthi izifuyo kungabiwanga
lalela
akubiya ngoba kulasihlahla kumbe vele
No.
it's custom like umthetho wakhona wale ndawo.
that's one of the reasons izihlahla zakhona zifana leze Gwanda zilameva ayisizo izihlahla zokubiya vele ayisizo izihlahla zokubiya so indawo yakhona vele ayila izihlahla ezinjalo ngoba kuyalinywa kakhulu amasimu makhulu and all of that so yeah so ngapha kwakulinywa ngenkabi now nansi into ngayifundayo Joy kumkhulu ozala ubaba umkhulu ozala ubaba wayenesithembu awuzwa mina vele ngithanda isithembu
Bengithi vele sisazofika khona lapho. In most cases vele you are always in favor of.
Yeah.
see shelf let us shelf it uzabu lalela
Jovia zinkulumo
sizoyi shelf ake ngithi motho kancane ngoba le ngahluka
Ukusikanda from a distance ngikhangele.
why don't you explain kakhulu?
khathi wesaba
Qhubeka manje.
lalela ukhulu ozizala ubaba kahle kahle wayenamakhosikazi angu8 yayinsizwa ke leyo
Yebo.
ukhulu ozizala ubaba he was a strong man khona manje umunye ukhosikazi latshona abanye baguga kanjalo but however mina ngithe ngivuleka amehlo ngiqala ukumbona ngabona ngawama amehlo amakhosikazi wakhe ngabona i5
Oh, the others were now late.
yes abanye ba late oyedwa wahamba the other two were late so I was able to see 5 now but it's what I want to share with you it's not about amakhosikazi it's about the man he was and he is a man that I admired a lot he ran his homestead as a country ngongani ilizwe lalela lindoda linsizwa he was a wealthy man ngensuku zakhe wayenenkomo eziningi wayenebhutsha wakwaba lebhutsha wakwaba le kuthiwa yini le esinkwa le ibheka
So could afford to care of his family.
because vele that's how you can have this thing but one thing I noticed I learned from that man was the order
Wakule
order the structure I learned from that man
Governance.
governance
Country, as you said. Yeah.
so let me just try and break this down for you sasilima ngenkomo because I'm trying to make this a little bit shorter because ngiyazi lokunye sifuna sixoxe ngakhona ma kwakusiyalinywa kule nkabi ezilimayo inkabi lezo ezilinywayo was treated kahle humanely kuthi ukuthi inkomo thina sasivuka ngo4 amajaha ngana sekhulile esiyalima siyavuma inkomo siphuma inkomo zethu inkabi zethu siyalima siyahamba lo mama oyedwa one of the wives and namankazana mhlamba amabili ama sisters one of the wives and the sisters thina sihambele izipano zethu mhlambe siphumele izipani mhlambe 4 kuma siphumele izipani 5 ku depend ukuthi sibophe izingaki siyavuma lamankazana alingana lathi ngoba umuzi mkhulu phela so mangimina thina silima omunye ubamba ikhubo omunye uyachayela omunye uyahlanyela emuva angithi uyabona umama ulathi laphana managing lalela kuthi ngo4 kuthi kusachaya u9 ekseni siyabe sesithalaza sizabona umama eqhamuka le omunye umama uthweleni no inkalakathe yengcebethu udla breakfast ehamba nabo sisabayo you understand sesilethelwa ibreakfast sizabopha sizamisela lapana we have breakfast labo masiqeda ukudla bathatha izitsha babuyele ekhaya bayaphekani ilunch in the meantime omunye wabafana abanye abafana lapha ekhaya usuke waya engadini uyasikana utshani kuyasika utshani abuganda sasithi ukuthi kuganda chopping grass chopping the grass kuhlanganiswe kufake le bit salt. Now this is to reward inkomo ezivela lini masivela sebenze inkomo ziyabuya zingakaphumi ziyanikwa zidle lapha uma ziqeda ukudla lamanzi akhona ziphuza amanzi zehlisa zisuka lapho abanye abafana abancane sebehamba la emadleleni. This is the structure. This is my grandfather did this. And one other amazing thing that he did that I'm going to share. He never had a single animal with horns. Zodwa. Inkomo mayikhula isithi yaphuma impondo ziyachiswa. Ngafunda ngambuza utata ngathi isizathu kuyini. Wathi mzukulu impondo ziyacakisa inkomo. Mawufuna ukubona linto khangela izona eze South Africa laphana ukuthi ngindebele cows ngoba ankole ezinempondo ezinkulu noma ukhangela eze America Texas cows Texas horns ziyabe zicakile inkomo impondo ziyacakisa. This is my grandfather's.
Hey, that was
I'm sharing wisdom how my grandfather. Lalela nasenye into futhi ngokukhula mina sengivala ngale ndaba kakhulu because that was an amazing man.
Yes.
Inkomo zakhe zazingachaywa ngomchilo emzimbeni. Ukuthi ungayichaya ngomchilo lapha emva lelo langa kungangcono la uchayo.
Umona lekhaya.
Yikumungana lekhaya. Ngoba you are treating this animal inhumanely ezikakhulu wami zazikatshwa njengabantwana. Mawuyikhuza ukuthi yewena zikatshwe enyaweni la enyaweni la azikatshwe emzimbeni ngoba inkomo ilula Joy inkomo ngayithi ngomchilo lapha iyadweba umzimba
ubonakale for
uyahlabona ukuthi uchayile
you can't hide.
That's the thing. So he used to do that. Final story I'm going to share about my grandfather, why I love that man so much. My siblings or my other obabomncane labo auntie might not share the same sentiments because bona they were in there as abantwana besithenjini mina ngangingumzukulu. So njengomzukulu, one of the other things that I loved about him is that he had a system which stayed with him until he died. I'm not sure ukuthi lokho njalo. System yokuthi uma ungathothi tools. He had tools, amampintshisi, pliers. Any tools to kulungisa isikhuba any tools that you wanted. Ibhadizi yokuthena inkomo you had to sign out that tool. Itool yana kumele ukutsho ukuthi ithethwe nguJoy lamhlanje.
Ngesikhathi singaka.
Ntambama kumele ubuyise kubhala ukubonisa ukuthi uyilethile. We never lost any tools.
Mana khona bomali. Awukuliyeza ukuthi isithembu kuyini, the structure, the governance, the system. Ngoba emalangeni sinokubona ubufebe being glorified umuntu ofuna ukuzenzela into zakhe kodwa xa ulalela into eyenzakala lapha eyayisenzakala lapha. Can you do that?
And you know what I liked from his statements kaMalume lapha ukuthi uthi aqala ukukhuluma ngesithembu.
Yes.
Esakhuluma ngaso uthi ukhuluma ngewealth.
Yes.
Wakufaka as a benchmark ukuthi can you afford it? Meaning ukuthi isithembu is for somebody or affordayo.
Absolutely.
Hayi imizwa. Hayi ukuthi mina ngifuna ukugcwalisa nje imizwa yami. Namhlanje ngiyatshintsha ngelaphana sesukubona nje emalangeni. Bethi ngoba nami umkhulu nawe lesithembu so nami ngingena 10 15 20.
Lalela.
But ungasuza ukwanisa ukuthini.
Lalela. Njalo isithembu is not for everyone. Isithembu one is spiritual. That's another thing about isithembu. Vele sosomntonke njalo futhi lamakhosikazi angena esithenjini asomakhosikazi it's not anyone ongangena esithenjini
bakhethwa ngabadala
umakhulu ugogo ongumdala nguye wayebakhetha besiza kutata lalela
babengakhethwa ngokhulu
lalela bengisakudescribe by structure of my grandfather's homestead kwakusiba lo munye futhi umama ngoba sasilengadi silamasimo silengadi engadini silama mango silamatomati sisilani ngoba umuzi kumele urani kumele kuthengwe amafutha kumele kuthengwe amatomatisi kumele kwenziweni you understand kwakusiba lo mama owayemanage that mina ngiqala ukubona inqola elamavira yi4 ngabona ngenqola kakhulu wami mina ozala ubaba sasibiza itrailer Kokungelo omunye umuntu wayelenqola enjalo.
Yeah.
He was a very smart man. Yayinde. I-trailer yayiswivel so like this. Yeah, so yayiphuma maybe kanye kabili ngeviki. Isiya eGokhwe Center.
Ithwele ama-produce.
Ithe swi amamengo, amatomatis, amakhabitshi, swi isiya khona. Kulo mama who is managing that. So far I've told you about 3 umama. One umanager ngale kuya masimini. One umanager le lokhuzeni. One umanager ukukhulu. One umanager ukukhulu utata ngokwakhe ngumsebenzi wakhe this week is managing utata.
Yeah.
Utata uvuka ekseni ngabo 4 siya masimini engadini yakhe siyagamula esenzani. Kulo gogo o manager
That alone.
That week.
These are ministries in a company.
Ngizama ukuletha njalo. Uyabona una Joy hlakaniphile. Yikho ngizama ukubelethela khona.
So in this case it's not vele khona ukuthi ukuthi microcosm of macrocosm.
Yebo.
Ilizwe
In
omunye ebe department yakhe. So I think this culture,
Yeah.
the way practice on khona,
Yeah.
lesimanje,
Yeah.
lokuthi khona sebeyithethe,
Yeah.
bayingcolisa,
Yebo.
bakhetha ukuthi beyibize ngento ezimbi, no,
Yebo.
this is wrong.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because a lot of people would rather be in support of ukutabani,
Yeah.
bebuglorify,
Yebo.
bethi kulelungelo lakhe umuntu,
Yebo.
but bengcolise
Yebo.
isithembo, bethi isithembo
Sibi.
sibi.
Hayi ikanti ke sona isithembu sikhona sibi. Sikhona esihle. Akumele singumelanga sokufihle lokho.
Ngesinjani sibi?
Esibi sikhona abanye abayenza abangena kuso bevele bengela understanding la ngokuthi lalela aso wonke umuntu lobizo lokuba nesithembu.
Absolutely.
Isithembu aso somuntu wonke.
It's not by choice.
It's not by choice.
Yeah.
And you have to be a certain caliber of men to be able to sustain
Absolutely.
polygamy.
Yes.
Ungathi wena uyindoda nje lalela mo. Ngifuna ukulitshela le nto kawana. Abantu besimanga bathanda indoda ene leadership. Bafuna indoda enamandla.
Yes.
Bafuna indoda decisive. Bafuna indoda straight.
Yeah.
Bafuna indoda that will provide.
That will say things and they go.
And as they are. Kuba sokusibala le indoda enesithembu vele is a completely different man.
Would you say, Malume, in this case, it happens ukuthi spiritually,
Yebo.
you must follow the footsteps of Utatala and have this step on it.
Yebo.
But then, unfortunately, because the character most of the times, iba lomthelela of because of the background,
Plays a part.
khulisa kwakho,
Yeah.
the environment okuyo.
True.
So wouldn't we say ukuthi in as much as kuba khona uthola ukuthi ubizo vele luyatsho ukuthi wena kumele unyawo uhamba ngalo ube lesithembu. But unfortunately due to ama circumstances ukuthi wena maybe ukhulise njani wakhula kuphi wafunda kuphi uma usithi uyakwenza okobizo lwakho ubusuphazamisa but akuthi ukuthi wena you're not meant for isithembu.
Uqinisile nyakuzo.
That's deep.
Nyakuzo, right. It could mean that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I want to believe mina umuntu othatha isithembu must be deeply rooted in the culture. In understanding in the African culture. Maune understanding the African culture. Usuza understand ukuthi lento kuzomela ngiyele emsamo.
I see that.
Yes, Malume, before uqhubeke khona.
Yeah.
Don't you think the problem is ekuthini culture on its own is dying?
True.
Culture on its own, it's each and every day,
It's dying.
and you have control of that.
True.
In as much as I wish you would, okay, I want to sustain this and revive it. So meaning I'm going to make mistakes along the way.
Yes.
Because I'm only not looking at it is spiritual.
Yes.
Yes, temple.
Nyakuzo.
Because if you look at our Labaneng, very Babel is temple.
Nyakuzo.
And it made our society better because if
Absolutely.
generally, on a layman's view, women are more than men.
Whether we like it or not.
Yes.
Nyakuzo.
And it is women that are not married that sometimes cause problems in the society.
Hayi lalela ungakadluli khona ngihleka ngoba as it is I think there's a conference somewhere in Dubai or somewhere This conference, I saw this advert. It's about. It's saying.
I saw it.
Isithembu. It's polygamy, and it's saying the ethos of this thing is saying this is not about men. It's about every woman having a husband. It's not about a man having 2 or 3 wives. It's about every woman having a husband.
Yes.
That's
where my point is.
Yes, I'm following you.
It's because with families,
Yes.
we are able to revive the culture. We are able to maintain the identity. We are able to kulisisizwe lokuyaka. But if all these things are not there, then there is a problem.
If family structure, as we know it, or as it was, even if we don't know it, especially the current generation,
Right.
was the foundation of the nation.
Right.
Right now, nations worldwide are
Right.
broken because there is no family structure.
Ah.
So it's something ukuthi Malume asumele ukuthi abuye azohlala phansi for this one specifically, because if you look at our previous episode when we spoke to Iqembu La Bantu, ekhuluma iNgulu yabantu, wakhuluma futhi la ngefoundation, and I'm so glad ukuthi Malume comes here
And talks about it
consciously goes into the same lane esikhuluma ngayo ukuthi see podcast yabantu sinje, we are not only here to entertain but also to educate and invoke certain emotions that will lead into our conversations that will fix what has been broken.
Right.
If family singayi-understand where kulabantu abafika basitshela ukuthi isithembu si-wrong, bangachasisi ukuthi esi-wrong yisiphi esi-right yisiphi, but it's a story for another day.
Exactly.
Malume,
Aye.
usuthinte very deep.
Aye. Besidlula bafowethu.
Besidlula.
Besidlula. Hayi besidlula bafowethu.
Because I think the onus is on us.
Yes.
With what we are sharing right now,
Yes.
it's an insight. Umunye umuntu uyabecabanga ukuthi
ongakaze ayibone in this way.
Yeah, in that way. Uke waba nomkakhe wamtshela ukuthi ubefisa ukuthi ebe lomncedisi.
Yes.
But
So
when I understand,
yena wabesebenzisa ama emotions le jealous ukuthi say this wanga understand, but I think with how you are explaining kuzoba maybe easy ukuthi akubone ngaleyo ndlela.
Ngicela ukuyivala. Ngicela ukuyivala. Ngivumela ukuthi ngivale isithembu. Uyavumela? Lalela. And sesifuna ukukhuluma nge-modern day.
Yes.
Lalela, this is my perspective. Ngiyami view. Lingizwe kahle.
Yes.
Isithembu in the past, it was for economic and employment reasons. Kwakungela economic, kwakungela employment. Wawusiba le mpahla zakho eziningi, uthatha amakhosikazi uzala abantwana babe yiba babe yilabor yakho. Kuphinde futhi kube lani economic, kwakungela banking system. Yazwisisa. Lalela. Ngicela nizwisise kahle. Ngicela nizwisise kahle Joy. Sengifuna ukusiletha ngensuku zalamhlanje. Lapha sengifuna ukusiza wena Monyazi uyasifuna isithembu. Sengifuna ukusiza wena.
Ungakhulumi mo. Malume aqhubeke.
Ngifuna ukusiza yena mfowethu. Ngensuku zalamhlanje. This is my perspective. Omama bahlangana benza izitokfela zokuchayelana imali.
And they're very good at that.
Bachayelana imali zama grocery lani. Lalela. Bayekele misi. Ngifuna ukubonisa ke i-modern day polygamy. Mina ngelami lihlo. Omunye umuntu angathi ebukela athi hayi umalume uyahlanya. Ku right, uqondile ngiyabheda, uqondile. Kodwa ngwami umbono, lawo lo wakho umbono. Angithi owami umbono uthi uyabona wena mo lamhlanje la usebenza khona. Ake ngufakele kanje mntaka baba. Une good credit. Uyenza 200,000 rand. Yangizwa ngomnyaka. Ungilalele kahle. Usuthola ke amakhosikazi akho amabili. Kumba ake ngithi amakhosikazi akho amathathu. Lawo esenza 100,000 or sithi 150,000 rands a year or whatever. Akuyicalculate imali le.
So to
Akuyimali 150
that's
650. 650 ngomnyaka. Lalela. Now wena ngensuku zalamhlanje, if you're working together as a family and as a polygamous family, now and your homestead eyakho Joy yakho Ncube isisiba yicompany. isisiba yicompany inqube enterprises. Lalela ke Joy, you have a good credit. Maseli lonke imali yenu iholela in one account. What happens to your credit worth as a family? So kuthi ukuthi ibank isikhangela ukuthi wena lemdeni wakho you are making 600 or to $1 million a year. Follow me. Uyasisisa?
Siyakwazi ukukunikeza credit.
Now you can get access to bigger loans, access to bigger credit worth. You understand? Into le awusekho, it's better than istokfela sokuchayelana Joy. Alisachayelana because now nguwe lo mzi wakho umdeni wakho namakhosikazi akho angu4 silihlola together. You are working together as an organization, as a family. Ifamily yakho Ncube eyinkampani yakho Ncube. Uyangizwisisa? So I'm thinking, this is my thought. Bazathi ngiyahlanya bathi ngiyabheda, but I'm just giving you. I'm just giving because lale everything has a progression. Siya progressa in life. Uyangithola? So mangakwenza kanjalo ayikho into more wena namakhosikazi akho angu4 elingehlile ukuthi liyithenge la eMzansi
or
liyenze la eMzansi, because your credit worthy and your income is allowing you to use the bank's money to do what you want to do ngemali yebank, because it's not about your money, it's about you accessing the big funds. Mali is a bank. You can buy a farm, you can buy houses together.
You start a good business.
Good business. But the key is in you having the right people,
communicating
And you having
that
the leadership.
you having the right leadership, sharing the vision.
with these
That's if
people.
the vision is what I'm giving you. If you have the same vision and you have 4 people that are able to buy into this thing, you are going far. Because now this thing, everything, this year we're changing cars. You can get cars on lease. You were changing cars.
Because the credit score allows you.
All of them are getting a brand new BMW, including yourself. All of them are getting a brand new house. All of them, kumele balebele imizi yabo. Ngoba it is allowing you ukuthi bathengele imizi bonke, not ukuthi bathengele because you are together. Lithenga lonke imizi. Ibond liyana libhadala ama risk are spread across. This is me thinking. Angichonga ukuthi kubhalwe anyway iyasebenza lento ngilinikeza nje Malume formula le angazi ukuthi iyasebenza. Angayizami la ngicela ukuyizama la mfowethu.
Ugesi uzohamba ngiyamazi ukuthi emazweni
Manje inkulumo esamncane. Kulile commercial lapha.
i-commercial
Ngoba mina sengo amanzi amasephelile. Amanzi sephelile.
Ram.
OCD.
Nosi. Alright now. Kuhle ukubona. Siyajabula. Many years man, long time. It's been a minute. Manje nabantwana? Siyabonga. Ulomkhwenya
Action. Umalume usehambe deep wena mfo wathinta indaba exaka uZulu, indaba exaka umuntu nomuntu. Liyakhumbula ngabe lemuva sike sakhuluma lapha le indlula mithi sikhuluma indlu yabantu. Wathinta la indaba yefamily. Umalume has gone into that. Ngoba because of time isikhathi asoba nikazi lesikhathi. So funa ukuthi sijampe. Uthi uyayivala umalume kodwa wangayivala. Ngoba ivalekile le ndaba. Inde kakhulu.
Ayivaleki impela because usazobona imibuzo Jofi esazobuya lapha.
Ezobuya kuma comments.
Because I think ukuthi isizwe esimnyama.
Yebo.
Ungabheka community of Indians and all this.
Yes.
What he's saying it makes
They're
sense.
still practicing these things.
Ngibe ngicabanga ukuthi esabantu abamnyama silidwa kakhulu zinkanungu. Ukuthi umuntu engabhejela ukudla ikhabichi kule credit score. Umuntu engabhejela ukudla impela ethi ezilonga umalume ngowami ngedwa ngiwani.
Yeah.
What is credit score? PM kabani? I-right lembuzi yakho na i1. So ukuthi we are being overcome with our emotions. Story for another day.
Sizabuya sizithinta security Malume sibuyele sabakwazi ukuthi ungubani safika wakhuluma. You shared a very thank you so much for allowing us into your life growing up nempilo kakhulu in that structure. Let me take us to, is this why now you are given this vision to start, to establish Asakhane life?
Well,
yes. I know, like, because honestly, before you answer, sometimes when you're in public and there are things that you are doing as heavy and big as they are, the ordinary, the layman does not understand. But man, so mina understand, but I'm fully open. I now understand why Asakhane life. Yeah. Take your time.
You see, I'm going to explain this in not so many words, but ngifuna ukuthi ngithi uyazi ukuthi when I started Asakhane life, I qalanga by choice. I qalanga because I choreographed. I qalanga because I planned it. No. But it started on one guy who came out with a video and then a narrative that I went against and said, no, this is not right. You are lying to the people of Matebeleland. Abantu bakithi baqampela manga. That's how I started.
Who is this guy?
As ngiyasinda ukuthi ngimkhukhumeze kodwa ngizomfaka ngizomkhuluma umnika udubo ngalidivisevi hayi kodwa mahle ngimqanga umfana wakho mathi nyararelwana limazibo
Ruthendo have been calling you to come and explain your narrative.
Hayi wafaka inarrative angithi ngase ngithi mina no this narrative you are putting is not the correct narrative about the Matebeleland and Mtwakazi people. It was mainly about ground. Ngithembe nasiqala ngithembe ngazalwa le kudala
70 something.
Okuthi ukuthi mina ground ngayibona ngamehlo
experienced it.
And I did get experience and rubbed ngabona ngathintwa mina ngiground more. So what a late narrative, I took my phone and I press live.
You went live?
Yeah, and I started talking. It is a time when a live recording was not popular. And only a few people could understand or could go on live and have at least 100 people watching them. So when
people afford to watch
those lives
because they were expensive. These are things that not everyone could watch.
Yeah. So when I took my phone and went live and recorded, I had 20 viewers. When I had 20 viewers, I knew I had something in there.
That was a lot.
That was a lot.
Yeah, I knew that was a lot. Now then I realized, here's what the community yakithi yeMatebeleland needs to come together. And by coming together, where is the best place to start to influence the community to come together? I then realized what is happening and what is lacking in our community is family values are going away. Hence, when you look at my conversations and topics that I was talking about, they were all centered on family values. Because I knew once you fix the family, you fix the country.
You fix the society.
You fix the society, you fix the community, you fix the country.
You fix the world.
That's the thing. So that's where I was going. But how did I come to a point of deciding fixing the family brings everything together? It is that basic natural upbringing, tapping back into my rural upbringing. Where I knew it took a village to raise a child. Lale, kule story ngazange lisitshela. Kwathi ngomunye umnyaka in the 80s. Kwakulanjwa. Nganihleli lo gogo wami ugogo Mankala sibabili ekhaya. For some reason I cannot explain to you why. But there was no one else. Sasisidla isitshwala. Sisitsheba ngamanzi alechukela. Poverty, extreme poverty. Ngikhuluma ngepoverty where donkeys were actually eating kuthiwa yini isihlahla lesana ngiyasikhohlwa umthophi sasibiza singumthophi this is a Sotho name we called it umthophi sasidla amaxolo umthophi ubona izihlahla sezimhlophe ezidla amaxolo there was no food one day I took out and I left with my umzala wami sahamba we walked I think it's about 10 k's to Thuli River from where we live saya ku Thuli River like asageleza kusala lutho kulamachibi you look for amachibi la sathi inhlanzi ngokuthandwa ngumlimi ngabamba imbole esibiza sithi catfish ngesingisi a big fish now at that time I was probably about 8 years old Lalele, I'm gone. I didn't tell Ukoko where I was. Ukoko wasale memezela elayini. Everybody was looking for me. Mwana watutu vile utsamayile mwana watutu ukai mwana watutu. Uyangizwa? Now I'm coming home ngiphethe inhlanzi iyangisinda I could not even carry this fish because it was so big. Yes. So ngangiyibambe kanje ngiyidonsa ngiyihudula it is dragging on lalela I think you see how tall I am now I'm 6'3" but mangihamba at the time I was short I only shot taller when I got to a certain age ngangiyihudula ngesandla ihamba ngafika la igcwele uthuli linhlanzi mangangidlula elayinini uvela kayi utswa kayi we uyabona bathethiso makhelwane uvela ngaphi sesekudinga indawo yonke le
ngale kudinga la
sebogawulela ngoswazi
mangifika ekhaya uDogo uzondile udla amahabula but mayebona ukuthi ngidonsana wavela waba right
hayi besiyophanda
why waba calm we had that fish for days and days and days because we just had to have enough ukuthi sichebe so but I'm coming back to a point where I did realize what it took a village to raise a child and everybody was out to look for me concerned where I was
about your safety
exactly so all those puzzles coming together upbringing ulima kwenzani influenced the person that I am today influenced the person that created Asakhane life influenced the person that had the vision ukuthi if all of us can look after each other if all of us can share
be a better place
as a
our
community
is a better place
one thing that was intentional was it was not a country thing it was a regional thing that was intentional
so it's a nation
no I think vele athi bona lesifundiso zithi umuntu natural selfish uqala ngokwakhe first before alungise ngayo charity begins at home bathi njalo lo ka George ukuthi waqala wena ngokunanzelela iproblem kwesakho kwabakho abantu and your interest was in addressing the issues affecting your own people
there you
that
go
particular time
but then I also realized ukuthi inkinga ezikhona based on the fact that sengikhulile manje sengimuntu omdala and I live in diaspora what is the biggest problem that we are facing in our families number one problem is divorce what is the cause of divorce
I think you have really stayed on that dwelled on that discussed so much of that and I wondered why but I understand now
it's divorce
families are breaking down
but what is the reason why are families breaking down and hence I did understand and when you look at my journey I have always picked on conversations that affect families that make families end up in a situation where conflict resolution becomes a challenge and therefore they split because they're failing to resolve their issues.
Minor issues,
One of the other issues that I noticed was the cultural grounding
I say
that we had or otherwise asayibona abazali bethu besibalayo is gone through the window. Why? it is because of the modernization and us taking and running with the Eurocentric values that otherwise do not mean or do anything to us.
We don't even subscribe to that.
I would say, just maybe, not to differ as such, but to say, don't you think Malume now, in as much as you said modernization, modernization is not secondary to economy, because we are all influenced by economy. It is economy that forces people to migrate, and the way you are bringing your children right now, it's not possible for you to bring them up the same way you were brought up. You try and adjust and still try and maybe keep up with the same,
but it's not the same.
But it's not possible.
It is not going to be the same. But there are basic values
that we need to instill in one another.
There are certain basic values that you need to keep and stay aligned with. It does not matter where you live in this part of the world.
Yeah.
How is it that the Indians are able to do it? How is it that the Jews are able to do it? But how is it that we are failing to do it? When are certain values that we must stick by? Yebo.
It's not possible.
Wawuthi mawungabona ipitikoti lichaye umsila wawuphakama kulamaka.
Owekhaya
orubale.
Uba angitsho kwekhaya. Yebo. Hayi bengithi ngichayisayo.
Ngifuna ukuthi sibuyele ku basic.
Yebo.
Mangithi mina in as much as I understand okunye why are we failing to keep up with these things? Ngithini mina ukuthi ngizama ukubalekela modernization. Mfaka ukuthi ngisebenzisa poverty ngokuthi economy that drives everything. Even the culture is protected by economy. Yokuthi ukuthi I trust you me ukuthi if kwenze ukuthi kube le famine inkomo zikatata ziphele zonke kulanjwe kulezinye izinto that we're going to be difficult for utata to maintain.
True.
Angithi
Ekhaya
because sas ungaba lendlala.
Yebo.
Kuba nzima ukulawula abantu. But mabe suthi bangakulalela. Ngizama ukuthi ngifuna ukuyela engubeni ukuthi angaze ngibone ingubo omzali wami.
Yebo.
Kodwa ke umzali wami se forced to migrate.
Yebo.
Etse migrate.
Yebo.
Unfortunately kungabi easy to survive.
Yebo.
Slabo Alex, Slabo Hilbro, Slabo Yuvel Peria.
Yeah.
Uthola iroom elilodwa hlala abantu abayi-6 trying to survive.
Yebo.
Basebenzisa indlu yangasese eyodwa.
Yebo.
It's not possible ukuthi kuthi ngapha maybe kuphuzwa amanzi amponjwana ngapha kule family ngapha isidecide ukuthi sesingena inkonzo. Ukuthi kungenzeka ukuthi ongangapha lawe lemuli yakho nabantu abakho lingakuzwa khonoko.
Yebo.
The same thing ba forced ukuthi bayisebenza. Besebenza laphana, they've got no control or time to watch what their kids are consuming. Emlonyeni endlebeni abakuzwayo what they are seeing. So konke lokho I think it causes the bigger part of our problems ukuthi lokuthanda umuntu ubeqhudwa ku-7 emakhaya. Efikelana kube nzima ukuthi asebenze ngofom 2 agcina sesithi senzehlala loJofi. Akaze kufundiswe ngumuntu ukuthi indoda ukuhlala kanjani sezozwa so uphendulana so
lalela. Ngiyakuzwa. Kodwa ke sengibambe emsile nenkulumo yakho yilethayo. Uvela ke ofundiswayo ukuthi indoda iphathwa kanjani. Akekho ofundiswayo ukuthi umshado vele uhamba kanjani.
Is it an instinct?
Asomsebenzi ubabakazi. Labo malume lo.
Obabakazi bangakutshela lokho abakutshela khona ukuthi indoda uyabekezela kwathi nthini. Okuhamba phakathi la akula script. There is no script, there is no way okufundiswa khona umuntu afunde ukuthi vele umshado kuyini. Umshado uphathwa kanjani. Ingcazelo yomshado kuyini. What is the purpose of your marriage? What is your role or what's your purpose in this marriage? Akekho umuntu okufundiswayo khona. It is an institution that you fall in love and you like each other and you decide that you want to make children and you want to live together and you decide and then you go mphambi kwamfundisi alinikeza certificate sokugraduate ukuthi you've graduated, now you can live together, you may now kiss the bride and live happily ever after. The challenges that come in between, no one teaches you that. No one teaches you that. And no one knows what challenges you're going to meet or you're going to face, because your challenges will never be the same as my challenges, because we are different people in character and in upbringing. Sihlangana nabantu abahlukile. Bakhona abantu abahlangana lama soulmates abo, God bless them, they are so lucky because they never have an issue. Bahlala a happy life ever after. But I can guarantee you okwenzakala phakathi uhlukile. Lalela mbe sensiza enkulumeni yakho economy, yebo siyakuzwisisa ukuthi we have migrated. Economy has made us and forced us to migrate and go and spread all over the world.
Compromise.
And where we are all over the world, we are now adapting to the customs and values of the land and the rules of the land. But ikhona into okumelanga siyilahle. Our core values on who we are, ubuntu bethu, it must stay, it must stick with us. Kumele kuhlale kulathi. Kunzima lapha engihlala khona, mina ngiyangithi ngihlala duze nasezulwini, and rightfully so. Abantwana kunzima ukuthi bafundise ulimi lwabo, because everywhere they go it's English. Angithi uyangithola? TV is English, their friends is English, everything is English. Kodwa I force it into them to understand the language. That is my core values. But asimilar, my children, when you come into my home, we are sitting down and they are not in the home. When they walk through the door and they realize what dead, they will come and say, hello, Uncle. How are you? That is a basic value yobuntu bethu. Basuke, then they go about their business, but they have greeted you. Uzwa kanjani wena abantu abambeza abuya bezokubingelela bekubuza ukuthi unjani? Uyanthola?
Ngizizwa lami ngi-accepted.
Ngihloniphekile njalo.
Lalela, let me go fair. Sithi sisahlele, unkosikazi umuzabuya akubingelele, akuphathela amanzi, athi nanka amanzi kumele noma inamnede noma yini juice. Sithi saxoxa nanzelela ukuthi siyaxoxa. Ayenze okunyoncane okudliwayo, whether it's a snack, ama fruits noma yini, but she's brought it there for us to have, enjoy. It is the basic culture and upbringing yet. Not because we are kule in slavery umbuyenza, no, yibuntu lo. Akhona amanye ama families. Ungizwe kahle. You will visit them in diaspora, where I live. Their children will come and they will see you. And they just look at you and then run off. They take off. Mina ke wena Joy. Lo muntu as ubungane bami la seizes that day. Why? Because the values that I'm instilling in my children are not the same as what you are instilling in your children. Therefore, I don't want your children to influence my children to behave in the manner that your children are behaving. Ngoba leyo nto ilungile for wena, hayi for mina.
Malume, ngicela ukuthi mina kanti akuwona yini umlando wethu thina sekukhanyeni ukuthi silethe abasebunyameni ekukhanyeni. Ekuthini you might have witnessed that, kodwa ngenxa yokuthi ulwazi lukho kufana ncamashilo ukuthi ngingathi mina ngilesiqiniseko sokuthi okwenza abantwana bakho bebuye bezongibingelela ama kuvakashile mina yinto bafundise yona. Sungathi awuyifundiswa ngamaLungu, kodwa yinto adipracticewa ekhaya. So along the line some practices fed or ayahleka, maybe hayi ngokuthanda, abanye ngokuthanda, abanye ngemodernization, abanye kungazi. So ngiba le problem of my friendship will cease there. Are we not Tina now letting down one of our own? When a punch uthola ukuthi kulolwazi thizeni kwathi ungaluinstila lapha umfowethu ngazi ukuthi vele ukureceive phela umuntu senga receive into ngendlela thizeni anti. Kodwa ke sengakubona ngendlela yakho
lalela mfowethu kangizwa akuthi ngeke ngiphile uyabona we mfaka amashaba ayikho indoda ongayitshela ukuthi ikhulise njani abayo abantwana
yaliwa
ayikho indoda ongayitshela ukuthi mfowethu khulisa kanje abakho abantwana ngiqedile asidlule lapho uthi nomunye umbuzo
hayi asekho isikhathi la savuna
ayikho
ngifisa ukuthi ngicabanga ukuthi ijova ama virtual akho lawana siyawadinga kakhulu because kuningi kumele ngabe siya
there's a lot
yes ube sa break down lapha information of Asakhane what prompted to information of Asakhane
so yeah I think ngibambe khona lapho ukuthi the name itself ngesikhiwa kuthiwa is self explanatory Asakhane live umuntu ongena khona engakachazelwa uya understand ukuthi kuyakhanwa
let us build each other
you understand yes. And then abanye abantu basebebuza ukuthi yini siyakhala Malume seyichazile ukuthi mostly it's looking at the family values the structure and all that ngoba isikhathi asisekho sifuna ukuthi sijame ngathi siyaphambili ukuthi Malume the challenges that you have faced as Malume fresh A1 and Asakhane as an organization I am sure ukuthi along the way there are people who are resisting or there are people who are not understanding
the vision
what is happening the vision and what you're trying to do when and the team that you have around you. What are the challenges that you faced along the way?
So I'll tell you something. When it comes to the vision, one thing that I have done, that I did, was to have the vision be self-explanatory to the community, to the people that I work around with. Ideology, the DNA, Asakhane,
yes,
is based on Ubuntu Bami, where I am talking about fairness, I'm talking about equality, I'm talking about justice, I'm talking about judgment. I'm talking about ukuthi singabantu siyaphila as inclusivity, let's us live together. That is where I have. And I'll tell you something, everybody that has worked with me when I joined more has never been handpicked by myself. Ngesingisi bathi the cream always rises to the top. Baziveza. Ngebeziveza ngokubana we share the common values. And then they come up and they're the ones that are actually working with me. Lalia. So if Asakhane has been something that I have created to say there is no community member that is being left behind. What do I mean about that? Empilweni iminwe kayilingani. Bakhona abanye that face hardships along the way. And there's a community bakhona abanye abantu that they can afford uNkulunkulu babusise ngemo. So njenge community, when we talk about taking a village to raise a child, I'm taking that same principle to say as a community we can help each other, raise each other, protect each other, help each other, grow together as a community. Now it's a space where I have created a space where people create new friendships, people create new connections, people create new business partners, people find love, people get help in terms of what they lack. That is a space Econ. And his space as if created consciously, but being led by other superpowers that I don't know. Because many a time I have decided I am leaving this. I have wanted to deactivate the page many times. But the minute I'm trying to deactivate and trying to stop this whole thing, something comes up. Someone calls for help. And then I am putting I'm putting Abantu Lindo, can you get in touch with this person? Find out what's going on. ulinto agijima efika lapha
Yeah.
bafike bamtshele bathi kule ndaba enje
And the life gets saved.
and then a life gets saved.
fulfills.
Omunye umuntu athi malume namhlanje ngelamagetsi kunzima lo sano luncane ubaba kakho.
Yeah.
I have a problem.
Yeah.
Asilabisi.
Yeah.
Lindo phone this woman. Kwenzakalani? I've phone. It depends on whoever I'm using ulindo. She's not the only one.
Yes.
There's a big team.
Yeah.
Bamfonele, bamcheck. I told ukuthi inkinga ikhona. Then what I do, I bring it to the community. The community, there is always a good Samaritan who comes through and help these people. Mina, I will tell you the honest truth. It's not about me. It is about my name. But it's not about me. It is about the community. Because the community owns this thing. I do not own.
We didn't call it Thamu life.
I don't own this thing. The community owns this thing. Lengizwisisa?
Yeah.
Lengizwisisa kahle.
Yeah.
The community owns this thing. Hence, I put rules as thethisane kule platform. There's no body shaming in this platform. There is no tribalism in this platform.
Yeah.
All these things, ama rules are there. Ama rules lawa, they speak to me as the leader, as the founder and the creator of this whole platform.
What you stand for.
And what I stand for. These are the values that I stand by. But mase ngingasekho, at the beginning, Joy, you were there.
Yes.
Abantu, they were resisting.
Yes.
Because we did not want to allow anyone azongena.
True.
Because ungena ungazi. Maune
Zakalala.
umule platform yakho le page yakho it's less than 6 months. Asifuni ukuthi uzofundela iFacebook etiquette from our platform.
No.
So that doesn't get approved. Or
It does not asikuvumeli. Hlala 1 year ufunda ukuthi iFacebook sebenza kanjani. Ubukele uzwe ngabanye abantu sebenza. Mawusungena kwaSakhane you already know what time it is. Ama rules ethu lama rules of engagement.
Other people posting there, you can view and yeah.
Here's the beautiful thing that I saw. Now because I ended up staying back, taking a back seat. Umuntu mayebuya ekhuluma inhlamba. Umayebuya a body shame somebody. You know we do Mr. Asakhane.
yes.
Mr. Asakhane. We do competitions like that.
Yeah.
I don't have to block that person. The community gangs up on this one.
Discipline.
Lalela.
Akwenziwa.
Lapha koko Asakhane.
Yes.
Asikwenzi lokho.
Yeah.
Ngoba kunabanye ababethi bengalwa kwamanye ama page angale kwaChangana
Bese bebuya.
balathe bezoqhubeka besilwa ngayo
Yeah.
bamtshela ukuthi no indaba le ngiyangale
Ayizwile.
asibuyele siye kulwa ngale
Yes.
ngoba lapha kuvunyelwe. So what we ended up we were doing would restrict your viewership sikublock or we restrict you sikufake suspend you for maybe for 20 days. Into engayithola isebenza ukuthi during the 20 days isizungu abantu ababesibalazo
Azaqonda umuntu.
umuntu wayesebuya ke we Fukamo azobuya kimi athi malume ngiblockiwe ngiyaxolisa ngithi lalela ublockiwe ngithi hayi kuhle mntaka baba kodwa uze ngikukhulule masini kule family ethembisa engela kudla namhlanje donate a bag of milimili or donate cabbage isitheko.
So build up the family values, the community values by umuntu akaphonga ukuya back.
Yes.
Ubuqondiso bakhe bulemfundo phakathi.
Yebo.
Wakha isizwe.
Lokuthatha responsibility.
Yebo.
Okuyinto kakhulu eshoda isizwe sakhethu.
Yebo.
People don't like taking responsibility.
No.
Yebo. So when they donate, it's not a punishment.
It's a lesson.
It's a lesson. And it's giving back. Usefundile. I can guarantee you lona umuntu kaphinda yenzela ninto. Kodwa engaphinda yenzela ninto. Kusasa manje ngithola omunye umuntu who is facing hardship in life and I'm talking with I need donations to help this individual. That person gives because they've seen the value of giving that person. Ngoba lona umuntu ube nenkinga kade ekhangelana layo.
Yeah.
Uyabona?
Yeah.
So Asakhane grew in that manner and we ended up registering it as a non-profit organization in Canada which is registered right now and I am the president with a set of 10 board members in there.
Yeah.
So we ngingu president ngegama kodwa president Asakhane Yabantu asiyo yabo. So ekuthi ukuthi sisezile ama events to help people that are less fortunate. One of the biggest one that I actually championed was the sanitary wear for girl child, and where we championed it in Upbringing. It was strategic how we chose that. How did we choose it? Because I looked at all the board members and the team, and it was very imperative for me that we choose a location that none of our board members belong there. That meant because it becomes difficult. I want to say, how did you select this? But if none of your board members are there, it becomes easy. What we did was, the first initiative was we solicited funds to buy our sanitary pads, but those sanitary pads were disposable. Now I sat down with the team and we realized what this is just like giving umntwana isweets or cake, alidle liphele, then what? So then we decided we are going to raise funds and target 2 schools in Binga. After we targeted 2 schools, we got our teachers. Our teachers we got a couple of teachers to go and learn how to make reusable sanitary pads. Reusable sanitary pads. And our target was 1 school, was the high school. High school, but 4 pads each. It was intentional. If it gets soiled, then so a day at least umntwana can use 2 pads, reusable ones, as spare. So being a dad and a father of a 13-year-old daughter at the time, it touched my heart so much. How would it be when my daughter cannot have
because
what she needs to go about her livelihood, her day?
Because if you look, each and every month, a girl child loses some time at school.
Absolutely.
It also takes away their confidence.
Yes.
Self-esteem
yes.
goes down.
Yes.
And they are forced to stay at home.
Yes.
Those that can't afford.
Yes.
So I've seen drives like those ones that will come and donate.
Yeah.
But these ones that are disposable, it's once off.
Yes.
You are gone, you take your pictures, you are happy.
And it's done.
But it's done.
It's done.
This problem still remains.
It's still there.
That's why you find out most of the time the girl child, especially the rural girl child, is more disadvantaged. So yeah, no, because at the end of the day, every month you lose 5 to 7 days school, which means you're behind.
Lalela ake ngibeke kanje ngathi ngisenza imaths zakhona manje sazikhumbula kahle ngathola ukuthi umntwana oyintombazana bleeds for 30 days a year. Ake ngibeke kahle no awuzwanga ngicela unilalele kahle ngithe mina umntwana oyintombazana mangangiyenza isam liyana, it might not be accurate right now, bleeds for 30 days a year. So as a father and leading such an organization, I thought deep about that. Because looking at my own daughter, how would it be if she cannot afford? If she cannot afford, therefore, again, it goes back into my roots, my instinct, family values, my upbringing, looking at poverty, looking at lack of things that you need, and I noticed no, we have to help. But mangwenza lokho ongizwisise kahle Joy, ngikwenza with an intention that I hoped the community could see these things. There's many other areas esingakwazi kwafinyelela. Singakhuluma ngamanzi, just simple water, singakhuluma ngemsebenzi, singakhuluma ngokudla, singakhuluma nge-education, ukuswela nje amabhuku lamapenseli. This is where Asakhane has always come through, buying books, buying pencils and doing all these things.
Books donated, Isithembu, books being
We have done all that.
You know, inkinga ngosifana nalezi ukuthi ziba mnandi, ziba nzulu, zibe deep kodwa sesichaya isikhathi, sesichaya ukuthi siyadliwa umango isikhathi. Kodwa uchilo lapha mfoka Mashaba ukuthi kuzomela sibe lama sessions whereby once in a while we bring Malume, even if it's virtual akulanda ukuthi ungathi ngoba manje i-technology yasivumela ukuthi lesihlale sixoxe must connected khona ngale duze kwezulu lathi singaconnecta lesifike ukuthi kunjani kuba duze kwebhekile
hayi ezweni ze-Afrika
hayi lalela hayi lalela asingali masingali
that's another episode
qhubeka mntaka baba
ungakavali
yebo
sibone ngoba sokungenzeka thule sokucichile khona into zethu ngoba phela ize sayala nohamba icicha bathi bayacisha namuhla so sesizwile the formation of Asakhane, the values, the vision and everything else that it entails. What is the future? What is happening right now? Our projects are corner and also posted one panel of senior on Skies Metro, also working with PMK. Is that one still happening?
I think also you can add on also on the kind of support that
you need
and you wish our people could come on board and
absolutely
give to these community organizations.
So let me start with Pam Kelly on the Skies. The Skies did reach out to me and because of them noticing the work that we did on Asakhane, and they said, listen, we want you to come in so that you can have a perspective, a background of what diaspora perspective is versus the local perspective. And it's been going well, it's fine, and we're doing a wonderful job there. People are following us. And now, if vision here Asakhane is even bigger, supersedes me, even my imagination, because what we want to do, what I really want to do, is to see a community come together. Now, a community coming together not only in terms of I want to see a community that is building, starting, working together in terms of business, in terms of real estate, coming together, which is we support each other. We have a community a community where we can have a bank. Sisiba le bank sinjalo sibe le community ekwamthwakazi where we can even have a political voice as umthwakazi where we can be decisive on saying look influence
because political voice engina financial strength
it's useless right now I have a project that I am working on. It's been a little bit stagnant, stifled, because it's a project that I'm saying look, let's come together as a groups of 10 and buy a product, buy a house, a property. Buy a property together. Ngoba makhangela abantu abangu-10 bangakhipha $10,000, it's $1 million. You can buy a property. $1 million, you can buy a property less than that. And then that property can be managed by a different company, but also that property will be owned by those people. And also, these people can actually rent in this property and live there, and they have ownership in the property. Lalela, you look after it well.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So I also got a project that I'm working on buying a farm. A farm that which Yabantu Asakhane can buy that farm together and grow crops in that farm, and they can, go where they want to put the produce, but babe shareholders of that farm. But tole shares every end of the year.
How do I become part of this?
Become a member of Asakhane, and there is a link on how you can join.
You can inquire on these things.
You can inquire on these things, and we can tell you how to join.
Admins or
absolutely.
Yeah,
but
I'm here for this.
I'm here
for business. For business.
I'm too busy for this.
Yes.
But I want to be part of it.
Iqhathekile. Kube sokusiba le inye futhi engilayo engingakwazi ukuthi ngoyenza kanjani. Where I want to have people, smart people, financial people, where we can create our own credit union. Ungizwisise kahle. Where lami manginje ngisuka la enhlala khona eduze nasezulwini ake ngithi ngifuna ukuthenga itikiti lokuze ekhaya I must not use my credit card. I must not use my credit card. I must use the Asakhane credit union credit card at a lower interest rate than the 29% that I'm getting from Visa. And that way I know what it is paying back into a bigger vision. Asakhane, a bigger vision. That's what I want. Where we can have a credit union, it's possible. Where we can even afford to buy our own mine. What's there to stop us from buying our own mine if we own a credit union? Asakhane has membership all over the world. And people can put, right now, if everybody who is a member of Asakhane can fork out $20 each into an account, citizens a credit union, how much money do you think we would have?
That's a lot.
So I'm a project manning. I'm a project manning that I really would want to have. La in South Africa, we can have our own car rental. A car rental that is owned by Asakhane. We have a group of people that will have cars. I'm a diaspora. We have a rental. There are a lot
of diasporans that are always coming through, and Mabekona, they and all these other
MP.
They don't know where to eat.
Restaurants.
They don't have places to sleep.
Thank you.
They don't have agencies. Ababa Bukela, the flight tickets to cross over to the other side. These are just basic for
so
that are outside of this.
So before we go, the other one that we're working on is we are actually working on an office that will probably be led by Ulindo as the local somebody here in South Africa. This office will serve a purpose of having as a work center where people can come and get forms to apply for visas, info center, forms for passports,
challenges,
everything that you need, donations and all of that. Printing. Print a visa, a resume, print a form. You can go to the Asakhane office and print that.
What is stopping you from having this office?
Nothing is stopping us. I said we are working on it.
Okay.
Where nothing is stopping us. So what happens is we are registered here as well.
Okay.
So we just need to put a few things in place. This is something that we are doing. Ngoba sikunanzelela ukuthi abantu bakithi bayahlupheka. Bathwala nzima ukuthi mhlambe uma befuna ukuya ekhaya befuna ukurenew ama passport befuna ukwenzani abalandayo to go somewhere ukuthi lama jobs that we get to here in the community we can post them in our place.
I think generally when we have a database, people register themselves so that whoever is it becomes easier
to contact.
Look, it's fine. Let me call Ulindo office in Asakhane.
Kulo muntu yini. Nazo.
You can help.
Umsebenzi. So we have.
I tell you, umuntu noma sesebenza.
Yeah.
Asoze ignore imember eAsakhane ezabe the problem.
Nazo.
Yeah. So I'm who I am today because of the help that I got from.
Let me show you something.
Nxa ulalele uyezwa nangimalume yakhuluma uzwile ekhuluma ngomfulindo they are busy working on getting the office and ulama business people wakithi abalemali they've got the capacity they've got the resources ukuthi bancedise into ama organizations afana lawo uzizwele ulindele ukuthi ufike usondele ukhulume nangimalume Thamu na Ulindo ukukhulunywa ukuthi ungancedisa kanjani lawo. Umunye ngathi mina ngile bhakhi lapha elihleliyo once in a while maybe in a month ngancedisa abantu ba move from one place to another. These are things that we face especially in Johannesburg. You can come through uzoncedisa. I've seen this happening as Malume has said before ukuthi I've seen ukuthi kusetshenzwa kanjani. But into esuke yenzakala ukuthi abantu bakithi bahlalela khatshana bangasondeli. Angazi maybe Malume kusuka ukuthi abakwazi ukwenzakalani or kumbe they don't understand the vision.
No, it's not about that. It's about the trust. Abantu bakithi barojiwe kakhulu. Asingatshintsha sifihla impilo. Abantu barojiwe kakhulu. Silem
basarojwa futhi kakhulu.
Basarojwa kakhulu. Yiko thina mangabe kuthiwa we do any fundraising that we do. Science fundraising Elvis, science fundraising Kelvin, science many fundraisers, including Sanitary pads. One thing that we have done that sets us apart, which is one of our core values, setting us apart. We set ourselves apart from everyone else. And I also say we set the trend and they follow. Is we make sure that we keep our V11s transparent. Accountability. And we show everybody. If you have noticed, when we have done any fundraiser, I come with our accountant and we do a PowerPoint presentation to show you what you as the donor, you donated $10,000.
This is how your money was spent.
Imali enisebenze kanje. Kusela intshintshi engaka sisebenze lokho. Asifuni ma problem.
Or not with them problems. You with trust you get to win souls. Souls that want to come and partake, be part. Some people ababuyile mali. Some people babuya ngeskill zabo. I've seen people Asakhane. Munyethi ngifuna abantu ababili abafuna ukufundela carpentry. Omeke ngifuna abantu ababili abangayenza lokho. So with that they will have seen ukuthi okay, in as much as some are putting up money, I don't have money. What do I have? It's a skill. I can work at the end of the day. I can give back and teach my fellow countrymen a certain skill. Maybe it's painting or it's carpentry or it's plumbing, things like that. So I think all that embodies Asakhane. Asakhane is a wall.
We can talk about Asakhane until the cows come home. I mean, we have done a lot. We have had guys looking for jobs and someone saying, I'm a tree cutter. Angela my tools, I just need a saw. And we raise money. And like Qatar, we've raised money for them. And they've gone about their business to do what they have.
So the rise of Upbringing,
and they can come out and testify this. And these things, when I join Lomo, it's not about me. It's about the community collectively. It's not me doing these things. It's you, it's you doing it, coming together.
So everybody. I think it's everyone's responsibility to your legacy must involve what impact did you make Yabantu to your community. So I would say maybe before preach what will be your final words? Yabantu, your call as Malume as President of Asakhane, and because it's not that everything that you do it as Asakhane. There are things that you also do as an individual that you might not say here, or you might say, I've helped this and that. You have also helped Asakhane as a person, because this thing it's in you. So abantu sometimes you look at abantu Asakhane, angazi ngicine 59,000, I don't know isinganani.
Organic members.
So if we're looking at organic members, our fee almost 59,000. Like what you said, would babe ngafaka $20. Ubali lapana uthole imali. Is kid.
Over $1 million.
So what is your call to people who bengabe ngama spectators kuphela? Bebe involved in these things. To be part of these projects that are there.
I would say Asakhane is not me. Asakhane is you. Namhlanje ungabe unakho ukuthi you can afford to buy yourself a loaf of bread. You can afford to buy yourself milk. You can afford to buy yourself Cerevita. Namhlanje, you can afford to take yourself to the hospital and pay for your medical bills. Namhlanje, you can afford to bury your loved one. Namhlanje, you can afford to pay school fees for your children. Today, you can. Ugodwa, elakusasa, alaziyo. You don't know what tomorrow holds for us. Alaziyo. Kusasa nguwe ongabe usuqoqoda. Uthi malume, ngifela ngumfowethu use Kruger stop.
Akulandlela zomhambise ekhaya.
Malume, ngilomntaka dadewethu onenkalakata echuma ofuna uncedo lwesibhedlela eKenya. Malume, ngilo mfowethu oxoxa isikolo. Malume ngilo mama kunje. There's many different cases that will happen. All I am saying is together we can. Together sibambene we can. And you need when we're calling in to say we need a donation, we need help. We are not saying break the bank. We're saying we we need the leak that you have. Ngizubuhlungu lamhlanje. A few days ago, umntwana uEsli, I came out with an emotional video, almost in my tears, because she had a tumor in her bottom jaw. She looked for $40,000 to go to India to get surgery, to be treated for that tumor. Guess what? From the community, Zimbabwean, Bulawayo, Matebeleland community, I was only ashamed to raise at least almost about 5,000 pounds. And that money, my greatest fear was that the money that I was going to raise was not going to serve the purpose of treating this child, but to serve the purpose of bearing this child. And that is exactly what has happened. Today, I sit here in pain. Also, in a state of not knowing what to do. Should I go back and bank on the community to say they will come through for me, for you, tomorrow if you're facing hardship? I do not know, because kunzima. Umntwana was 13 years old, very bright, beautiful, a bright future ahead of her. Abazali bakhe, I'm sure if it was my child, I would wish if I can take the pain. Ngithathe umntwana aphile. But umntwana namhlanje uhlele ebhuqweni, ulele phansi ngaphansi komhlaba, uthule, uthezwi. We failed that child as a community. We failed her as a community. And I bleed, my heart bleeds, because that child died. We failed. 40,000 people, 50,000 people, all we needed to raise was $1 each. $1. Ma ngikhuluma nge$1 more. Ngikhuluma ngemali lamhlanje. If we go into your car, singena ngaphansi kwezitulo, we sweep, put together sizoyithola $1. But kodwa ngenxa yokuthi uMalume uThamu uyicelile wathi ufuna ukusiza umntwana, ayi awufuni. Ngenxa yokuthi usucalculate ukuthi kuzotholakala malini.
Ayenze so imali ayisebenzele kwayo.
Ayingene esambeni sami. Lamhlanje ucabanga ngaleyo ndlela ngoba you are not facing hardship.
You're not the victim.
You are not the victim. And you as a man is not your child. You as a mother is not your daughter. Yikho ungabe landaba. Kodwa mase kungiwakho eqondana lawo maqama. Sokungiwakho eqondana amaqama. Lamhlanje uhlezi ulele ethulini lokuthula. Umntwana kubuhlungu.
Phecelezi lo mntwana nguyena ozaba lekhambi lengculazi. Engabuye maybe ikuthathe emhlabeni. Nguye ongaba lekhambi lemkhuhlane ongakuhlupha ngokuhamba kwesikhathi. Cancer or ini, because we are all susceptible to anything. Sisaphila emhlabeni. Uchilo uMalume wathi namhlanje ungaba yimi sasa nguwe.
Isasa asilazi kusasa.
What makes a difference ukuthi ma usuvelwe inkinga, do we come together sincedisane or not?
Kubuhlungu. Kubuhlungu namo ngoba I looked at the organizations, including the business people. They failed to do corporate social responsibility.
I saw you tagging people that have got all the money, that buy designer shoes. I saw you trying to reach out to prominent people that 40,000 was nothing to them.
It was absolutely nothing. Corporate responsibilities. We have Umalaicha. We have bus owners. We have funeral owners, pala owners that have huge sums. They could have raised money to save that child. If they save that child, guess what? It would have been an example to the community. Together we can. We could come together. But we failed. We failed the child.
My next question is, as a leader of an organization that is reputable, across the world, back at home and anywhere else, what is the solution? We are seeing these things, they keep coming back. It's not only Ashley, We have seen so ufe umuntu ongusaziwayo where Asakhane now is putting together funds to help fund the burial and all that. We've seen abantwana abanye abasakwazi kuya esikolo and Asakhane Love and other organizations coming together. What do you think is the solution to this? Because isikhathi siyaphela, we've got a lot really that we want to talk about. But as Malume, in your experience, what can you say is the solution?
It's to dig deep. It's to dig deep and understand and know yourself. And understand what, we have to love each other. We have to come together as a community. And we need to understand ukuthi uma umuntu esithi ungumthwakazi kuchona. Uma umuntu esithi ulindebele kuchona. Ungumzimbabwe kuchona.
Africa.
Lalela. When someone says ulindebele ngumthwakazi ngumzimbabwe, it speaks to your cultural beliefs. It speaks to your cultural foundation. It speaks to your identity. It speaks to your values. It speaks to a space wherever you are, whether you're in Tokyo, whether you're in Uzbekistan, whether you're in South Korea. When someone says, who are you? You know who you are. Let us come together. Let us work together. As Bambanen, as Asakhane, let us build each other.
Wow, mthakazo omuhle community sikhuluma la wahlelo ukeleyo ngicela ukuthi uzame ukushare even to people that have never been to this platform podcast yabantu sithengi yabantu ngoba inyomuntu inyabantu bantu akula umuntu ozosala engazwanga udaba lo kodwa engaba khona usala ukuthi wena ngole ngqo khona ngakwenzanga namhlanje sifethu Malume the fresh auntie Malume Thamu all the way from duze kwezulwini.
Absolutely. Lalela mo. Ake ngichaze ngoba abantu abayazi ukuthi ngithi kusesiduzwe ngayisi indlela. Lalela. Abantu bahamba esontweni. Nesonto. Abanye ngesabatha. Abanye phakathi kweviki midweek bathi Vespers. Yebo. Bonke laba abantu abahamba esontweni. It is in hope to go into a place called heaven. Ezulwini. Leyo ndawo it's an imaginary place. Asiyazi. Esikuzwayo ukuthi uyabuhamba ku gravel engama diamonds.
Hamba phansi kwameshimelo.
Kwama diamonds kwameshimelo kuthiwa izivalo zakhona the gold. Ya kuthiwa yonke into ibucebecebe.
Kade amabhubesi.
Yebo. Lalela ke ukuthi leyo ndawo ngiyifaka la. It's at the top. Ngoba kukabi lo mfakazi ongayiphikisa ukuthi khona. Kube sokusiza le ndawo lapho endihlala khona. Okuthiwa iCanada. Okunye sokulandela ngaphansi. Kuseduze naso. Lalela mo.
Ama-values
Lalela. Angaqedi. Nihlazana. Uma ungathi kuthiwa khona uyakogoqa nyawo impilo isiphelile. Ufikile ngale Canada. Ufike eduze naso. Nqoma.
Producer, whoa.
Lalela. So mina Malume ngiyabuya wasidala
uma ungafika kalapho
awuhambi
eThomas Scott angiyovakatsha
mana ngifuna umbuzo ukugcina ifinal no kaMalume Malume isikhathi manje
sesihambile isikhathi somele sihamba
ezulwini yakho isikhathi manje
8:30 ilalela ngifuna ukuphendula phela ngifuna ukuphendula
simple answer Malume
kuyadiphe lalela kuphendule
i-answer unganiki political answer Malume
angikuniki political answer ngiyakuphendula phela lalela
answer inamba
lalela phela lalela ngikutshela
manje past 8
lalela ke ngikutshela
Malume
ufuna ukuthi ngikutshela isikhathi bani la engihlala khona lalela la engihlala khona ngu2:30 emini lalela ke hlala phansi ngo2:30 emini lalela
ophambili ngubani
lalela
ophambili ngubani
ephambili yithi la
phela Malume sukukusasa
hayi hlala phansi
usemuva
lalela hlala phansi
sesiqedile
bese ufika ku New Year
hlalela phansi explain ngale duze nasezulwini silama time zones amangaki ake ngibone la nto ihlanu phela silama time zones amangaki ungaguguli silama time zones amangaki segugulile
hayi uzokanda
ugugulile bafowethu ake ngibone Ngiyabonga kakhulu ngokuthi linginxuse lapha i-podcast yabantu. I-podcast enkulu kakhulu. Thank you very much. I am truly humbled by the honor of you inviting me here in your space. This is a space I'm not used to. I am used to sitting in your seat or in your seat.
And as we say,
being the one that asks the question.
Asking the questions.
Yes.
Namhlanje, it was truly unique, memorable, and enjoyable because I had to speak. Though liyazi mina ngilana indoda ekhuluma ingaphuza amanzi. Kodwa namhlanje inkomithi isilele ngoba kufuze ukuthi ngiphuza amanzi. Kunenge bese ngaxoxa. Ake ngibonge bafowethu. I'm truly humbled.
Sicela ukuthi sibonge kumbukeli, sibonge uMalume, sibonge umfowethu, sibonge Campro Studios laphana ekuthini basilethele bukhoma inkulumo ngoxoxana nale. Asikwazi ukuthi sihambe la singambonga uMalume sibonge Asakhane live. We have seen I think ababukeleyo would understand ukuthi kwayona i-podcast yabantu is a product of Asakhane live because it was born from within Asakhane live. We have seen our communities like the Joyful community, Mtunzini, Ukanyeni, and many other communities that are also aligned to the same ethos and vision as the Asakhane live. Sithi thina lingakhathali lingam Malume sechazi yabona masingahlala phansi simbuze deep and further singaqhubeka kuze kuse kodwa sithe thina sizozama ukuthi siphinde simlethe futhi kwesinye isikhathi amebhakalethe some of the board members babuye bezochazisa what it is that is happening kulama projects amakhulu. This is a platform engiyabantu that also allows the Asakhane live to come and also share what it is that they are doing at a particular time, in a particular season, in a particular region. Sibonge ukuthi Asakhane live has also said bazohamba beyofika kuma regions that have not been visited. They went to Binga, they went to Cholocho. We saw Cholocho floods, the Binga floods and all that. Sibonge sithethe indawo ngoba angeke siqede mfowethu asifalelisa abantu.
Malume besingazi ukuthi uzavuma impela ukuthi sizoxoxa. Njengomuntu obusy kakhulu. Kodwa mina isikhalu sami sokuthi I know it gets hard. Sometimes njengokuthi ukuthi sometimes ukucabanga ukuthi deactivate. But ngithi ngicela ungalahlekiswa
ungagive up.
Ungagive up. In that, like those projects that you're talking about, is about using pets. If you can intensify them, ngoba lakithi kumakithi kucholocho, silama same problems, and we need leadership as a director in order for you to be able to achieve ukuthi mawe ukuthi kumele kufundisa abantwana ukuthi athungwa njani, or mawe ukuthi kumele maybe imtshini yakho noma ayithengeka ayithengwe because zinkinga esibhekane nazo lesi community. So I would say thina sithanda ukuqinisa lethimba lapho leyasakhane ukuthi umsebenzi omuhle siyawubona appreciate futhi siyabonga sicela lingakhathali. Don't give up on our people. We know sometimes our people can be a nonsense. We know sometimes our people kuba nzima umuntu umncedise uthi umncedisile njalo futhi akujikele kodwa umuntu wakithi lo sizathini ngokwakithi vele bathi akulambuzo ke lanhlanya asika angasenzi thina sibe ngabantu abangayisibo because of maybe izinto zethu uzwile bona Malume ngithi
sibonge.
I'm humbled bafowethu.
Siyabonga kakhulu ngelo muhle. Press usubscribe lapha ngendawo to subscribe, like, share, also share ama comments makhona into othi wena maybe Asakhane live can do better if they do this or what not. Also if khona usifundile share a lot. Siyabonga. Sayithethe indawo podcast yabantu Campro Studios. Danko.